Good start to the weekend. This morning was good day. I mean, good first scrimmage. Saw a really good response with the defense. Thursday, it was kind of one of those days where everything was clicking for the offense, and I thought those guys came back and really responded well. Especially early. Had some good ebb and flows of what you want to see competitively. Your offense was able to make some plays later. Had a good balance of run and pass, trying to get a good mix, kind of a game flow mix, but also throwing them into some very specific and particular situations. Really like where we are after 7 days of practice. I think we'll be able to go back and watch the film and really see where guys are. Without coaches on the field, with everybody staying back, having to play out the situations. We do have to push our tempo more. I thought that was an area that we gotta. When guys know what to do, now we need to do it faster and more efficient. And so, there's. All in all, some really good plays, some great film to learn from. But I know you guys not too many guys. Bumps and bruises. We'll see. You got a couple guys that we'll see where it goes. But I thought all in all we came out pretty good for the first scrimmage, and leads us into a very important week here in this week ahead.
All right, first will be Chris Nee from Knowles 247.
Today, what you saw out of that group, especially J team, first team presumably?
Chris, I'm sorry, the volume. Which position group?
Quarterback group.
Yep. Okay. I thought they did really well. I mean, I thought, going out and seeing, I expect Jordan to be able to play with a lot of confidence, and he's doing that, and it has great ownership of the offense. Had a few things early that I think we could continue to be clear on, but he's doing a great job throughout the spring of owning the ball, not putting the ball in jeopardy, taking what the defense is giving him. There were probably some plays out there where we're going to be quick on a whistle with some things that we're doing with him, especially in spring practice that in game-like situation or in game situation could have a couple different results, but I like where I'm seeing him grow. Some, like I said, there was some positive steps, but still some plays that we need to continue to clean up on, and I know he's working hard to be able to do that. I really like what I'm seeing out of Tate. His growth and development is it's been what we expected. High expectations when we brought Tate. His knowledge, the ability that he has to be able to, not only do what he does with his arm, but also be able to keep plays alive with his legs. And you see just as a whole, I mean, what he's been able to bring to the offense. And I thought he had another really good day today. His first play was a touchdown. Great eyes, being able to get the ball of his hand quick. It was big, and I think there's still it wasn't a flawless day for him. Some things that we're going to be able to go back and coach and teach. But I like the steps he's taken, and A.J. Duffy for his first scrimmage, really impressive. He had probably one of the best throws of the day, on a little, boot action, probably throw a 45-yard, deep seven that. To his left, that was impressive. It was a great throw, but he doesn't act like a freshman. And this is somebody that should be in the spring semester of a senior year, and he has a different mentality, and he's prepared for the moment to come in, and how he's competing, but he still has a lot of things he's got to clean up. But his mentality and being able to go out there on the field, I like his presence and the ownership of what he's doing. And so plan on seeing big strides here this next 8 practices.
Next will be Matt Marshall from the Orlando Sentinel.
Mike, like you said, the defense came out and kind of responded today. What stood out about them? Which units did you think maybe had a better start today?
Well, I mean, we created some TFLs. They were, backers were flying around, being aggressive. Defensive front. We tried to balance the workload there. We've got some guys up front that have played a lot of ball with Fabian and Coop and Dennis Briggs. So, really trying to let those younger guys, establish themselves. And I thought there were some really good flashes, of what I saw from them. We wanted them to have a big workload. Really like the way our linebacker group is coming along. I mean, Tatum and the addition of him into that group, Amari Gaynor, obviously Kalen and DJ who's played a lot of ball for us this last year. I think they're all getting better. And, you see guys like Omar Graham that's coming in, that's really pushing. Steven Dix is working hard. Cortez Andrews. I mean, we got a group there that is trying to establish themselves, and so there's a lot of competition. But it's good seeing guys compete, and same thing there in the secondary. I just thought there were we made things a little bit more challenging. You'd force some pass breakups. We got some receivers that are really good at making plays on contested catches. We got some big body receivers, guys that can run, and I thought our DBs were competing throughout the day.
Next will be Irish Rafael from Warchant.
You guys do a lot of things during practice to kind of simulate scrimmage situations, but getting in the stadium, did you see anything different out of the new faces, the guys that you haven't seen in that stadium before, either positively or even negatively?
No, I mean, it's, you see the excitement, the juice, the energy. I mean, that's all there. And but it's great seeing the newcomers get that first opportunity. And we had some great plays that were made. From those guys, and we had guys that as you get in a scrimmage and coaches are off the field, they've got to get the game to slow down just a little bit more for them. But I thought some of those newcomers really flashed. Trey Benson had a couple big runs that you showcase his speed and athleticism. He was really impressive. C.J. Campbell actually came out and had a really good day. I mean, he was you got the ball in space and you made a couple big plays there as we're working our different groups. When you see the explosiveness, Micah was able to have another touchdown. You get he's getting on a pretty good roll of what we're asking him to do, and it's just I won't remember all the stats of all of it, but I mean, it was good to see those guys in that moment, where it wasn't, it didn't slow them. And, those guys went out there, they competed hard, and, definitely good to see.
Next will be Perry from Tomahawk Nation.
Coach, you mentioned that you want to improve on the overall tempo, but how did you think the communication played today? Is it where you want it to be right now?
I mean, I think we're progressing, but and thinking through it, some of the anytime you have 23 newcomers, where they're learning a new language, that's going to show up. I did think some of those young guys on the offensive line, whether it was Daughtry, Caden Lyles. Kanaya, Bless. I mean, we had our issues, but I mean, for the most part, it wasn't overly disruptive. And there's times that tends to show up there, in spring, especially in a first scrimmage. But I thought the guys, handled themselves well. Like I said, there was a good balance. We need to play faster. There's no doubt about it. We want to push the tempo, so that's going to be a big focus. I can tell you just coming off the field here this next week of what we need to do, because unless you're pushing yourself to that max, then you're limiting where you can get to. So, that's something we got to see.
Next will be Kurt Weiler from Tallahassee Democrat.
I know y'all have shifted some guys around, done plenty of rotating on the offensive line in terms of those units. How did they hold up today against the defensive line, the linebackers, the defense as a whole? I mean,
there's some good and bad. I mentioned some of the TFLs. We'll be able to go back and see the details and things that showed up that resulted in those plays. But I thought it was a mixed bag. You want you kind of hopeful as a head coach to see some of that. Because our defensive front needs to be a great strength for us. And as we're looking at different options and pushing guys and pushing competition, that's something that has to emerge. And I thought all in all, it was good work.
We'll go back to Ira.
Well, you obviously have a pretty broad competition at defensive end with Jared coming in, but also some of those other guys looking to step up. Are you seeing over the course of the spring what you want to see from that group, and also particularly today?
Yeah, I think Jared, Derek McClendon's really come on. We're excited about what Dennis is going to bring to that position. Leonard Warner. As you look at those older guys and some of the newcomers. But then I saw guys that flashed today. Patrick Payton had a couple really nice plays. You see as there Byron Turner. I mean the whole group. I mean it's a talented group of guys. They're trying to establish themselves for. To be more active in the rotation, and that's what days like today provide for them. And we're evaluating everything on a daily basis. But it'll be good to go back and see just the consistency of that execution and being where they're supposed to be. And but there were definitely some plays that were made out there.
Next will be Brennan Sano from Knowles 247.
You mentioned Trey Benson today having a nice day. How important was it to see him in full contact and scrimmage, live setting, to kind of continue what he's been doing this spring? Well,
Trey was a guy coming in that we were ready to have a more adjusted plan. I think it's been impressive watching him as he just continued to go through his rehabilitation with coming off the injury and the work that he's put in, and he's built in his confidence so much over these last throughout the entire winter, but really in these last few weeks we started you started slow the first week and tried to pick our points, and this last week coming back off spring break, I mean, you see the confidence in how he's running. And today he had a couple plays down at the goal line where you feel his power. And like I said, he got in the open field today, and you feel his speed. So it's a good combination for a 215-pound back. So that's I like what he's doing. I thought he had a couple good track runs where you see the confidence that's showing up. He had missed a couple in Thursday's practice that were that he had to learn from, and I thought today he made some of those positive strides. But I like the running back room. I mean, Trey Ward is really establishing himself as a guy that play in and play out. Is showing up big, and he's done some great things. Lawrence Tofili had a couple big plays today. You see, I mean, he's a different player. I mean, he's he's over 190 or pushing 190 pounds of, which last year, I'd like to say he was close, but he wasn't. And he's really done some great things physically, and you see that confidence emerge, and it's really setting him up for a really good year. And then I mentioned some of those other backs that have been working really hard, and I think that the versatility in that room is going to be fun to watch them continue to battle.
We'll go back to Matt Marshall.
Mike, you mentioned the needing to play faster as a group. How much of that is communication, and how much of that is just guys getting used to what you're trying to do, some of the younger guys getting used to what you're trying to do?
It's just building the confidence and getting the communication, being efficient in that, but then also the sense of urgency to push the tempo. Let that be a strength for us. Let that be something that, I want to tell them to be really unrealistic in a sense of where that's going, because tempo goes on defense too, and it is people think about that just being an offensive term. I mean, that's I want to see our defensive guys identifying quicker, aligning quicker, getting down, being ready, and being able to be the aggressor when it comes to the style of play. If we can do that, that's going to help benefit us for the long haul, regardless of the type of team that we play. And so really, it's not just an offensive term that I'm focused on. It's just really as a program, building the confidence of what and then go be efficient, be effective, and being able to go implement that on a play in and play out basis, because that can be a great weapon.
We'll go back to Ira.
Going back to AJ, he had that really good week at the Under Armour, I guess he had the Under Armour and some of the other events he's been at, where he seems to thrive on competition. Do you see that from him already in his first couple weeks on campus?
Yeah, I mean, he's a
practice.
yeah. I mean, that's what you want in a quarterback. You know, a guy that embraces challenge, handles it well. I tell every player on our team, if you're not willing to push yourself, to put all that you have out there, and then be in a position where you sometimes have to experience, coming up short. You have to experience, a little failure here and then, because if you know that you give all that you have a greater opportunity to be able to learn the true lessons and to be able to apply that as you move forward. And that's what I love with AJ. His mental preparation, the things that he's doing, like that, he doesn't act like a freshman at all in regards to that. His confidence, his control of the offense, I mean, it's really, really good when he's out there. And if he makes a mistake, he's making it's all that he has in that mistake, and he usually immediately can give me the right response of what he thought or what he saw or what he can do to be better. And when you have that, now that's a weapon, and that's what I like to see. And you see the same things in all those quarterbacks. And I think Coach Tokars is doing a great job in how he's developing those guys and the things that they're showing when they get out there on the field.
All right, last one will be Carter Carls from Tallahassee Democrat.
Mike, two-part question for you. So, number one, just who in the secondary kind of stood out to you today? And then secondly, with Pro Day coming up, what are you kind of looking forward to with that?
I thought it was a good day. I mean, there's a lot of flashes, in the defensive backfield. You saw, pick the guy. I mean, Akeem Dent had a big play today. You sit there and what I really like and what I'm seeing out of the corner and the competition at the corner spot. You have Greedy, you got Kevin, Amarian Cooper. I mean, all those guys are really working. But then you have a guy like Renardo Green. I think that he is really coming into his own. I mean, in those competitive situations, a bigger corner. Very plays physical. Jarian was a little bit limited today. As we were going, but I think that he's going to continue to make positive strides. He's got a lot of experience, but then you look at the two freshmen that have come in. Both Sam and Azare made big plays today, and I wanted to. There's a couple times we put them on islands just to see how they would respond, and I mean those guys, they got great futures in front of them, and really excited about what they did in their first time in the in Doak Campbell there in a scrimmage situation. I think our safety play is continuing to improve. There's a lot of competition there. We held Jamie was a little limited there at the end of the week, so we kind of wanted to see some of those younger guys have to emerge, and I thought they did some nice things today. And we'll go back and watch the film and really get a broader scope of it. But there are definitely some flash plays. And what was the other part?
Pro Day.
Oh, Pro Day. Two questions in one, huh? It's impressive. All right, so Pro Day, excited about it. Yes, it's great about getting our guys back, for them and their opportunity on their journey to the next level. We're fortunate to have a couple guys there at the combine, and the guys that did not have that opportunity, expected big things from them there on Tuesday. It's a great group, tremendous group of young men that work really hard. I'm grateful that we had the opportunity to be able to coach them, and just so excited to see them perform there on Tuesday on their path to where they definitely desire to go. And I think we got some guys that have a chance to shock some people. So it's going to be exciting.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.